All right, so Baby Driver just came out, and well, we got to see it last night, and it was. What are you doing? Why are you wearing? Put those on. I will not go against the grain here, but regardless, ow, fucking eye. Regardless, yeah. First thing I just want to mention, and this should show the validity of how great this movie is. Flea's in it.
Yep.
And can you name me a single bad movie that Flea is in?
No, honestly, we challenge you.
That's
name
not
a bad Flea movie.
It's not a joke. Like, seriously, just name one. Go in the comments. I don't care. Regardless, on top of that, Edgar Wright. Has he made a single bad movie?
Or TV show?
No, he hasn't. So at this point, I mean, your arguments of saying, maybe I might not like it, they're null and void, because even besides all that, this movie is fantastic. It checks all the right boxes. It's action-packed. It's a thrill ride. And before I continue, again, just want to mention, we're not going to be spoiling anything.
Nope. Not a single thing.
So just continue on forward. Although you did mention that right before we even start,
definitely, just go see the movie.
Yeah, just stop watching this video. Like legitimately, if you want a single, quick little video, stop watching now, go watch it.
Ray and I we completely avoided the trailers. We just went in as fresh as we could, and everything was brand new to us.
Yeah, and it was phenomenal. So if you just want someone to tell you, to reassure you this is going to be a great movie, yes, it's going to be great. So goodbye. Get on out of here. But if you want to hear a little more, in-depth review, well, stick around.
Let's kick things off. I'd like to talk about the music first.
Okay.
This movie fucking rocked, and I mean that literally. It rocked. It rocked and rolled. There was the whole thing. There's music from end to end. Every car chase, every action scene is literally minute to minute, except for the one time that they physically rewind the scene or the song.
Yeah. There's that. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, obviously there's a reference to it, but they rewind the song. But it's because that's how timed everything is. Not just the actual, scenes in the movie. The whole bit is the fact that, Baby, the actual character's name is actual Baby. But the whole thing is he times his driving, his heist driving, to a song.
I mean, it's to the point, too, where he can't start a car and start driving. There's a scene where, without finding a good song on the radio, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But besides that, not only is that time to the music, but so is the movie scenes. Even certain things like gunshots, someone doing a quick little gesture with their hand. It's all timed perfectly to the actual soundtrack, and it's freaking awesome. And this really feels like just a long ass music video.
It really does. I love, first of all, that there's all these sort of hints that the movie's secretly a musical with the bright colors in the background. There's sort of moving set pieces and bright colors. Every character kind of wears colors that correspond to their character type. Jamie Foxx, for example, wears bright red because he's an evil fuck. Baby kind of wears neutral colors because he thinks he's neutral to the whole situation. I mean, I could go on and on.
And when Kevin Spacey, he wears black because he's like devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not wrong. Yeah, kind of. Whatever. Besides that, there's also a lot of old movie references that are not based on musicals, but Drive films. I remember very specifically after the movie was done, I said, "Eat your heart out, Walter Hill." Mm-hmm. The director of The Driver. If you haven't seen The Driver, by the way, fantastic. One of the original Drive movies, and a damn good one. But regardless, you pointed out immediately that he's actually in this movie as a little special cameo.
But Walter Hill's voice kind of makes a little pop in.
It was awesome. And I was like, oh god damn it, of course he'd be in there. But that just shows how much attention to detail Edgar Wright is with his movies. There's so many things happening in the background, so many little references you won't even catch, a single shot, a whole kind of, event. Everything is always meticulously added in for a specific reason. Like, for example, the movie references that we caught were Taxi Driver, The Driver, obviously. You said Lost Highway, but I think it's Blood Simple.
There's a restaurant literally called Goodfellas Pizza.
Yeah. And of course, this one you didn't catch, but when the second I mentioned, you're like, oh my god, it's right. Terminator. There's a certain scene with the Terminator stalking someone in a car that's just duplicated this movie so perfectly that it was awesome. I freaking love it. But let's continue.
And I'd like to add to the whole Walter Hill thing. A lot of people are comparing Baby Driver on the outset to the movie Drive, which it is nothing like.
Yes, they're both Drive movies.
And they're both based on sort of the Walter Hill movie, or inspired by, I mean.
But other than that, yeah, the actual tone and the vibe, completely different. It's a complete comedy, a comedic musical action film. Such a weird genre, but fuck, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was fantastic.
that kind of takes me to the characters. Like there's points where this movie is legitimately funny, but there's also points where it's legitimately like heart-wrenching and scary.
Yeah.
Like this is Edgar Wright's most dramatic drama film, next to maybe The World's End.
Yeah. And The World's End, you can't even think about like, oh, that's not dramatic at all. No, I mean, like the last third of it is very, very dark. And this one goes even darker than that. And if you know about World's End, Jesus Christ, how much darker can you get? But
right.
yeah, they go there. And it's more not just because like the outward appearance of, you know, the outside world. It's more internally, like the actual darkness of people. And yeah, you get to see the criminal underworld at like up close and personal. It's really, really freaking cool.
And you also get this thing with the movie that I think is most important to Edgar Wright, which is character development first. Yes, on the outside, it's all this cool, flashy stuff and these movie references, but you get the feeling that none of his movies, and especially this one, would not have been made without fleshing out all of these characters. Even the most underspoken character, maybe someone like Flea, you know a lot about his character immediately just because of the writing.
Yeah, just from simple little gestures he says, some simple things he talks about. It's just like, oh, he's that kind of character. And you know what? Sometimes it may not go as, you know, farther than that with certain characters, but again, you get the gist of them quickly. And I freaking love that about this movie because it makes me care. And, well, certain characters you'll care more about than others. And, well,
some characters too, like you hate at the beginning and like at the end, or you like at the beginning and hate at the end.
Yeah, it's a great little mix and match of like, oh, I like this character, I hate this character, but like, it's always playing with your emotions. It's always keeping things fresh. It's always changing things up. And again, since you care about these characters, it gets you more invested in what's going on. And I really, really cared for these characters.
We actually had like a sort of big argument in the car as to how one character acts, and it's because he's so fleshed out. He is, in many ways, this type of person and this type of person.
Yeah, but like it's just because you're constantly trying to... In the fact of the matter, like that alone, you're actually talking about the movie after the fact. It's not just like, oh, you know, no. We were like vigorously arguing in the sense like, no, he's like this. But we weren't, you know, getting mad. We were like pointing out certain things we might have missed or someone else might have missed. And also that's one thing about this movie. Again, with the whole references thing, even with just the characters and all this stuff, you will miss so many things. And this movie just requires you to watch it twice because there are so many things going on.
And also, too, something really important to highlight here is not only the character development, but the fact that these action scenes are always pushing the story. You see a lot of bad action movies, and it's just like, and now there's a gunfight, you know, in a warehouse or something. In this movie, when an action happens, it has consequences for the rest of the story.
Especially the scene where he decides to go forward for once. Just throw that there. Does
hint.
Does it spoil anything? No, it doesn't, because even when you're seeing it, you're like, yes. Once you see this scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're just like, do it, fucking do it, please do it. And if it happens or not, I'm not going to spoil that part, but you care about it so goddamn much. And that's, again, what you were saying. Every event, every single action carries weight. And yes, the action scenes, like some car exploding, some car flipping, you're just like, why should I care? Oh, you do. You care immensely. And you care about what the hell is going to happen to either the main characters, the side characters, or hell, even this random character who popped out of freaking thin air. You're like, hello, you're not part of the scene. And
why did they have an SMG?
I don't know, but you know what? It's gonna at that point, it's Atlanta.
It's Atlanta.
That's all I'm gonna say. But
you know, all this action is making me think too. The titular character, Baby. There's something about him where he thinks he's not part of all this crime. He likes to sit away.
Oh, yeah.
And without spoiling anything, of course, Baby very much doesn't think he's a criminal. You get the idea that he thinks he's a driver. So all these action pieces, he almost feels separate from. It's really interesting here to see that Edgar Wright is actually going for a drama film. You know, everyone knows his films, and they're basically all comedies. And this one definitely has some hilarious moments.
But every single one of those comedies always has like an element of thick drama.
Yeah, but this one especially when you hear him talk about it too, he describes it kind of like an action heist film, and he kind of leaves the comedy out of it. Or
it's a much more serious film, definitely. It's a far more serious film than his last four. Actually, everything. Serious. Yeah, I mean, when you really count them all, Shaun the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, and Scott Pilgrim, they're all comedies.
Yeah.
I mean, Spaced is nothing but a comedy. So, yeah, this is definitely hands down his most serious film. And damn it, if I were to try to rank them, I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself because I can't do that right now. That's too hard. But just again, let that be a nice little, you know, signal to say that this movie is amazing. Edgar Wright keeps striking gold, and this time he fucking just decided to mix gold with platinum, and it was like, okay, this is still amazing. What? I'm not gonna say, oh, you holding a higher standard of movies, because in all actuality, he's not really, you know, trying to make, you know, Oscar-worthy film. He's just having fun, and that's literally what I love. This is why I love his movies. Every single time I go watch one, I'm not there to, you know, watch the next Oscar bait, or, you know, this movie's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna be watching this, you know, 20 years down the line. No, we're here to watch a movie from the heart of someone who gives a shit about film.
And it's also, too, it's not just movies that are, like you said, are going to win awards. These are movies you're going to talk about forever. You know, X and Y movie just won an Oscar, but Edgar Wright films, we were still just arguing over what the best Edgar Wright film is. And we can quote them all very thoroughly.
Very, very thoroughly. And it's a cult film. It's a cult classic, but it's not in the sense like, oh, it's a cult classic, you know, it gained popularity over time. No, it's a cult classic out from the gate. If that makes any damn sense. It's a movie that people are going to be talking about for years on end, till the day they die. It hopefully gets really good box office revenue. But at the end of the day, you're still talking about because they're fun. Not because they're, you know, breaking new ground, even though this one kind of is character-wise in, like, in certain cases. But it's a movie that just demands your attention, and it doesn't let you go even until after the credits are done, because you're still talking about it. Edgar Wright, you keep not disappointing.
You're making the rest of us look bad.
Yeah. Stop it.
Catch that hot fist.
I got the reference. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to mention before we end this video? Just go watch the damn movie. Seriously. If you're still watching, thank you. But go watch the damn movie. Do yourself a favor. It's fantastic.
And like all Edgar Wright films, see it multiple times, because there's so much going on.
Yeah, this is a Blu-ray buy, or in our world now, a 4K UHD Blu-ray buy.
And, oh, you know what? We should call it now for the end of the year top 10 list. We predict this as number 1.
Yeah.
You can tell us to fuck ourselves later if anything happens, but...
And that's fine. I mean, like, yeah, like, you know, I make those lists at the end of the year, and I always say, oh, what's going to be number 1? I'm gonna lock it in right now. It's this one. Like, and there are going to be a crap ton of amazing movies that will be coming out this year. But this one, it's just hard to beat. So I'm locking it in. But yeah, is that it? Anything else? Okay, just make kissing noises to the camera. Okay, but thank you. That's the review. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You gotta really stop doing that. And I will see you guys later.